The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us. Oh no, I mean I started the second to last one, which is Foundation and Earth, but
oh, okay. 3, 2, 1. That's better. Target Field. Give me a break. Okay, so paint me a picture. What's Foundation doing now?
So
what's old Harry up to?
So this one is. It's like, did you see the previous season?
Yeah.
So, he magically gets like a body again.
Yes,
like in the previous,
that's why I asked what he was up to.
So
and they had those crazy zealots and
right.
mind readers, and like that's what I remember. Like
so him and Gale take them over, and they become the Mentalics, which is at first, but then they're the second Foundation.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
Okay.
And so, I mean, and it, like the problem I have now is when the show first started, I wasn't reading the books at all. Now I'm like through the original trilogy.
Yeah, you're balls deep.
And moving into the like subsequent sequels. So I'm now in that boat of all those people who I guess had already read the books, and when the show comes out and you're like, I don't know.
Really? See,
well,
I read the first book.
Yeah.
During the first season. Terrible fucking idea.
Yeah, because
it's apples to oranges at that point.
Yeah.
Complete. So it was a terrible idea on my part.
Well, and I'll say this, like, there's a lot of, so where this season is, it seems like it should have been like the second book. Which is...
And this is season 3, right? There's only 2 before this.
I think it's season 4.
Is it? There was 3 seasons that I've watched. I mean, I watched everything until this season.
Yeah. And so the...
Oh, you know what? You
right,
might be
yeah.
right.
So anyway, so the storyline of Empire, I think, is really great. This is the Terrence Mann, the Dusk, the guy who plays Dusk.
Yeah.
He owns the season. He's
Dusk, huh?
Yeah. And I mean he does a fantastic job. I mean the fun part, and I think I mentioned this earlier, Day I think it's the same Day from season 3 who gets like shut down by Demerzel when he's trying to after he blows up Terminus.
Yep.
And of course I say that and it's I don't know, but anyway, the Day in this one is like a lost Day.
Oh.
And he's like he refuses to rule, and he's with one of the concubines and like living on the edge of their property and bringing in wild animals. Like
he doesn't have like jars of piss on the walls or anything.
No, not quite that. But he's like turned like complete bohemian.
Yes, he's a hippie.
Yeah, he wants to go off the grid. Essentially.
Perfect. Oh, well done.
And
this is the 4th.
No, this is the 3rd. You're right.
Okay,
no, you're right.
There's so much going on. It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that part I like, which of course is not in the books at all. Like Empire, the Cleons and the genetic dynasty is not part of Asimov's prime.
Right.
Prime trilogy.
That's why reading the first book and watching the first season at the same time was awkward.
Yeah, which is like I mean the book's mainly about who's running the Foundation.
Correct. It's literally about the Foundation.
And so the second book, which is at the very end, they introduce the second Foundation because the mule essentially brings them out. And
they had 2 Foundations working the entire time, right?
Yeah.
Individual, not knowing, completely separate from each other.
Right.
Thinking that they're the only one.
And in the books, the second Foundation never leaves Trantor.
Yeah. Yep. I
It's
remember you
not
telling
on
me
like
that.
some distant
No,
planet
it's on
or
the
whatever.
same place, literally on the same place.
Right. They never left. And in the book they're the Mentalics. They have like mind control and shit
Okay.
like that. And that's
They're
what
the Bene Gesserit.
Right, yeah, exactly. So and they're the ones in the books that stop the mule. So my problem with where the show's going, and it's one of those of like I get it on one point of that's the way TV shows are. You got to sell actors,
Yeah.
you know. So, but
Plus, with his work, it's not super easy to translate to the screen.
no, and
Like,
it's
you've got to be really good. But
what I mean, like you said, like the first book is like just it's all bureaucracy.
right,
And you know how you move from a settlement to building a religion
Yep.
that then ends up in a trading network.
correct.
And the second one is a trading network that gets taken over, gets hijacked by a pirate who is the mule.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out how to stop that so that you can get back on Selden's path. Which is what that's really what like the books are going, is that it's eventually there's been several conflicts between the first and the second foundation,
Which makes sense.
but the second foundation always tries to be clandestine, and so and you know you kind of sense like it's all leading to like that'll be the final crisis, is this civil war
Yeah.
amongst the two foundations but then again like the book sequels, in my opinion, are the deeper I go into it, the books are getting far and far better because you're getting more and more clever storytelling. Like, so he's
right.
already done his, rise and decline of the Roman Empire.
Yep.
And now it's essentially it's a version of like, not necessarily like Dark Ages, but like
It's like
trying to find the
Dune
origin.
did the same
Yeah,
thing
trying to
with
find the origin
They
of
did the
humanity.
same thing with the rise and fall of Paul Atreides. Same thing.
Right,
Same
and
concept.
now you're into this realm of, but like
It's the politicking and shit that I love.
yeah, and I mean there's still that, but
Well, I mean, when
it's-
you're dealing with trade and different sects,
Right.
and different people,
Yeah.
you're getting political just from that.
but this is also, I mean, like the last one I went through, which was
You're beautiful.
I don't know. I'm blanking on it's Foundation and something, but anyway, it's or maybe it's the book I'm starting now. Foundation and Earth is the first one after the original trilogy,
Okay.
in which he was given that award of like he had the best
Yeah.
fantasy series of all time over Tolkien, and so now he's coming back to it after like 10 years, but he
got
really.
the award and he's like, okay.
In the end, Asimov gets in this groove, although it's always in that groove, but you really kind of get it in like the last two books of the first trilogy. But where it's like it really is like he picks like two opposing characters,
Yep.
and then you follow their story, and at some point they're going to merge, and then I mean, in class, like you learn in English class, like rising action, climax, descending action.
Yeah, of course.
But like fucking mastered it, and then you're going like, and that's another thing. I'm now with the TV show. It's like there's so many fucking characters to follow.
It's like Battlestar Galactica.
But I'm just telling you, like the reboot of Battlestar, Ronald Moore handled it. But he was also used to doing Star Trek, so he was used to
Right.
handling like multiple characters.
Yeah.
And in that, and of course that was back. He learned off of episodic television, so. Like every fifth episode, you're coming back to this character
Exactly. It's
and
like-
doing their storyline, and then
Yeah.
each main
You have
character
your each
gets their
thing
own.
for a season, but you've got that behind the scene
Yeah.
arc, and then multiple episode arcs for these people. But you've always got
My wish
the
for the
seasonal
TV show,
arc.
and I understand, like you got a hot young actress, like metaphorically and literally, but it's time for the character of Gail Dornick to go.
I didn't like her after season 2.
So and that's part of the it's like they keep it going, and you're just going like take a note from the books, like he moved on from these particular characters,
Right.
and then introduced these new characters. And frankly speaking, I think the way that Asimov wrote the ending of the Mule, which they kind of left that open, and that I don't know if the mule's done with or not. But the book I thought was very deftly handled, in which the mule, the second foundation comes in and is able to catch him off guard, enter his mind, and change his directive. And then, so instead of killing him
They just-
outright,
they
right? It was
hard
like,
reset him.
yeah, it was like, exactly, and then it was like, oh, I don't need to do this conquering thing anymore. I'll just rule peacefully until I die. And part of the reason he's called the mule is he was sterile, so there's no
So
there's
that's
no
it.
offspring.
He's there.
Right.
And, okay.
So then later on the foundation just reemerges after the mule. So
As one does.
right. But it seems like they're doing like 2 seasons per book, so we'll see. As well as integrate, but there's a lot
Well, I was
more,
going to say they have all the other stuff that they added, like
and they're building, and the best I can tell, I haven't gotten that far into it. I mean, I've read like the short stories like iRobot and stuff like that, but they're starting to integrate I think they're integrating his robot mythology into
Okay.
the show.
really.
Yeah, because there's a lot more on Demerzel and reintroducing and trying to rebuild robots, and like there's a whole cult that worships robots in this season.
Really.
Yeah, but that's all in the Empire storyline. So like the Empire storyline is fantastic. The
Yeah.
Foundation storyline,
The Empire storyline was always good. Here,
Yeah.
you know why? Because Gale is fucking a wet blanket over here. Is what it is.
well, they got they killed off Salvor Hardin, so
Gale's
it's-
next.
right? Yeah,
Get rid of. Bye.
we'll see.
If she was in.
Sorry, I
Warfare,
did not leave
I didn't
you
care.
any
I don't
time
give a
for
shit.
warfare.
I need 3 minutes. This movie was really, really, really good.
Is it hard to watch?
No. And here's
Okay.
the problem. It is more intense and like you're holding your breath because it is real to life. Like it's a whole bunch of like standing around and being nervous and there's quiet moments and you don't know and then something happens and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
And then the way they film, like there's not a whole lot of action.
It's a lot of planning.
Yeah, it's like a couple of squads that are found out, and as they're trying to escape, something happens, and then they're pinned down, and then.
Ooh.
So like, it's haunting because when they're pinned down and they're waiting for like